Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Steffy preps Forrester jet escape for Thomas and Douglas. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for Tuesday, March 26th, reveals that Steffy Forrester prompted Thomas Forrester to take Douglas Forrester and go make a good life for himself down from Los Angeles. Thomas was reluctant to leave since his whole life was there in LA, and so was Douglas' life. Still, Steffy worked to move Thomas that he could hang around and face the memorial of what could be been with Hope Logan. Still, also Steffy advised it would get worse and drag Douglas into further disappointing news, if Thomas didn't wake up and face the verity. Steffy reiterated that Thomas demanded to leave city and asked if he understood what she was saying. So Thomas said Douglas was always his number one precedence. At Forrester Creations, Hope declared that it was affronting for Steffy to act like she's been using Thomas as a plaything. Hope claimed Steffy's history, resentments and precariousness were driving this, but she refused to let herself be Steffy's particular punching bag. Ridge Forrester rushed to Steffy's defense and blustered about Hope hurting Thomas. Although Hope said she was honest about everything from the launch, Ridge wondered if Hope was really being honest with herself. After Ridge questioned if Thomas was some kind of diversion for Hope, she vehemently denied it. Brooke Logan ultimately tried to jump by and defend Hope, but Ridge said Thomas had been each-in from day one. Since Hope was reticent to marry Thomas, Ridge wondered if perhaps there was commodity in Thomas' past that she just couldn't forgive. Brooke wondered if Ridge could condemn Hope if that were true, but they managed to avoid a major blow-up over Thomas' history. Hope argued that Steffy was turning this into another Forrester's Logan's feud and doing everything she could to get her out of Thomas' life. After Hope took a call about some updates related to the Hope for the Unborn line, she said it was commodity they had in the workshop for a while. Hope wanted a chance to talk effects out with Thomas, but Steffy came strutting in and expressed dubieties about Thomas wanting Hope in his life. That said, Thomas did want to talk to Hope and was in the structure according to Steffy. Once Hope advised Steffy to stay out of her relationship and took off, Steffy suggested about Hope being in for a rude awakening. In the design office, Thomas putatively made a phone call to summon Douglas to Forrester Creations and also allowed back on plenitude of Hope recollections. Thomas also flashed back Steffy telling him to end effects with Hope formerly and for all. After Hope knocked and entered, she prayed Thomas not to hear to Steffy since she was playing the Forrester Logan card and trying to come between them. Thomas reminded Hope that she turned down his marriage offer again, but she reiterated that she wasn't ready for that position of commitment. The kiddies had formerly been through so numerous huge adaptations in the last many months, so Hope was trying to be the stylish mama she could conceivably be. Although Hope said no to the offer, she still wanted to spend every day with Thomas laughing and making love. Hope felt that they had commodity special and knew how lucky she was to be the one woman Thomas adored. Despite what Steffy might suppose, Hope told Thomas not to let her undermine them. "I love you and I don't want to lose you," Hope claimed on Tuesday's B&B occasion. Back with Steffy, she made a phone call to confirm that the Forrester spurt was fueled up and ready to go if need be. Brooke sounded suspicious and knew Steffy had been brooding effects in Thomas' observance about leaving Hope. Steffy said she allowed. Brooke would be happy about that, but Brooke felt it should be Hope's decision whether she had a life with Thomas. Steffy knew Logans always defended their own, but she was confident that it was over for Thomas and Hope. Brooke noted that Steffy sounded certain, but she felt that Steffy should let Hope and Thomas work this out for themselves. Else, it had further to do with Steffy's vendetta against Hope. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Brooke and Steffy's feud is about to get indeed worse, so check back frequently for further prognostications on all the raising drama. Thomas advertisement crushes Hope, Steffy, and Brooke fight dirty. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for Wednesday, March 27th, reveal that Brooke Logan will formally again push Steffy Forrester to back off and let Hope Logan handle her own relationship. Still, Steffy formerly seems convinced that she's talked Thomas Forrester into jilting Hope and taking Douglas Forrester to Paris. Steffy indeed called to make sure the Forrester spurt was all fueled up and ready to go, so she's easily counting on Thomas to take her advice. Brooke doesn't have the full picture of what's going on yet, but she feels like Steffy is poking her nose where it doesn't belong. Now that Brooke has brought up the possibility of Steffy's vendetta playing a part in the drama, Steffy may admit that her history with Hope can't be ignored. Maybe Steffy will admit their old contest is always going to be a factor because she knows who Hope is and what she's able of. Steffy might use that to back up her argument that Hope shouldn't be romantically involved with Thomas. Of course, once history becomes a content of discussion, that'll pave the way for both Brooke and Steffy to deliver some low blows. There'll inescapably be some cuts that hit below the belt, so stay tuned for updates on how far Steffy and Brooke will take their rearmost showdown. Coming on Wednesday's B&B occasion, Hope will finish delivering her sincere plea to Thomas since she doesn't want him to hear to Steffy's review or anyone differently for that matter. Thomas and Hope's relationship should be about them and them alone, but Steffy has formally gotten inside Thomas' head about what he needs to do. It looks like Thomas will push for some time down with Douglas Forrester, Henry Joseph Samary, so he may advertise his plan to resolve from Hope and bond with his son in Paris. That'll be a crushing double whammy for Hope since she doesn't want to break up, nor does she want Thomas to take Douglas out of the country. This could become a major issue if Hope puts her bottom down since she's Douglas' legal mama. Thomas can't make all the parenthood opinions on his own, so Hope may give him some serious pushback. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Thomas' life-altering news will throw Hope for a circle, so stay tuned for prognostications on where effects will go from then. Will Hope chase Thomas to Paris for a marriage offer of her own? The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that Thomas Forrester might decide Steffy Forrester has the right idea about taking Douglas Forrester to Paris, at least for a while. Of course, Thomas obviously can't just unilaterally yank Douglas down from his legal mama without authorization. Hope Logan espoused Douglas and has plenitude of maternal rights, so that's important to keep in mind. Still, Thomas might push for a father-son cling trip as he works to heal his broken heart. Since Thomas will supposedly advertise a bifurcation, he may blindside Hope indeed further by wanting to take Douglas to Paris like Steffy suggested. Also again, it's possible Thomas will show further growth by putting what's stylish for Douglas first. Unless it's a spring break situation, it's not fair to yank Douglas out of academy and down from all the adulterous conditioning he loves. Douglas at least deserves the chance to decide for himself whether he wants to leave Hope and Beth Spencer to go with Thomas on this France trip, so Hope and Thomas might let him choose. Still, that could really shake up Hope's world if Douglas does wind up going with Thomas to Paris. B&B suckers know Hope adores being a mama to Douglas and tends to get rocked when any big news related to him happens. Hope may feel like she's losing up most of her family unit and fear as a result. Indeed, if Thomas flies solo on this Paris trip in the end, Hope is still going to be crushed over the split and Douglas' sad response to it. Since Paris has come part of the story through Steffy's suggestion, could this lead to another romantic turning point? Will Hope shift her perspective and chase Thomas to Paris for a marriage offer of her own? Time will tell, but our prognostications suggest Hope and Thomas may not truly be done with each other just yet. Hope might take the action and make a bold move to get Thomas back. That could be a huge mistake if Hope's heart isn't truly in it, so stick with us for updates on any disasters that might affect. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Thomas and Hope will have to figure out what the future holds, so stay tuned.